The second principle of Leave No Trace is to travel and camp on durable surfaces. And in New York City parks, what we mean by durable surfaces are compacted earthen trails, stones, gravel, or even wood or bridges. So by walking and cycling on designated pathways, we're helping to protect fragile plant life that is on the side of the trails. If you see small flowers or young trees, be really careful not to step on them because they're so little that they may never bounce back from that damage. It brings up a really important point though, because all New York City Parks Trails are for pedestrians only, unless they are paved pathways or multi-purpose trails that were explicitly made for that purpose.
Something that's really important to remember when walking on trails is where you're walking on the trails. So if it's you by yourself or if it's you with a group of people, try to stay in the middle, because the more we walk off to the sides, the wider we're making our trails, okay? So as we're walking in muddier areas, we might find something like this, a wooden structure that's been created to bring you higher than the mud, and this one is actually called a duck walk. This one's gonna help keep you and your feet nice and dry while you are traversing our trails. Something that's really important to remember is that when we're going off the trail and we're widening it, not only are we potentially damaging the plant and animal life on the side of the trail, we're also exposing ourselves to potential hazards, such as poison ivy or ticks.
When walking on trails, you will notice that there are different colored trail blazes on the trees and the stones along your path. And those are there to remind you of what trail you're on and help you figure out where that trail is going. And those are important indicators to keep you right where you're supposed to be, because it's possible that you might be really close to neighboring private property that you'd want to stay away from. Also, trailblazes will help you stay away from especially vulnerable areas called riparian zones. And those are the zones between the land and the stream or the river. And those are traditionally very rife with life of reptile, amphibian, and insects. And there'll be eggs and young there that you want to keep very safe. So it's really important to stay on the trail, and your trails will always be keeping you safe from those areas.
A really great rule of thumb when we're talking about traveling on durable surfaces is to avoid areas where impacts are just beginning. So if you want to take a moment to rest or you want to have a picnic or something like that, it would be a really great idea to opt for a place that is a little more durable, like big stones or boulders, maybe some fallen trees or a stump. Especially a bench or a picnic table would be a really great place to stop and have a snack. Unfortunately, overnight camping is prohibited in New York City parks, but if you are going to come and stay for a little while, all we ask is that you keep your impacts as low as possible. And we can't blame you for wanting to have a nice night camping in a park, and so we actually have an option for you. The Urban Park Rangers of New York City actually run really great overnight camping programs throughout the city, and right here on Staten Island, the parks that you might be lucky enough to be able to camp in with the supervision and the guidance of the Rangers are Conference House Park and Blue Heron Park. So check out the New York City Parks website for those program opportunities in the future.